Hey there, Sam Vindic here, Release Muscle Therapy, and in today's video we're going to do a quick product review for the Merach R26 Double Scull Magnetic Rower. Very excited to present this product. It is a very cool piece of equipment for cardiovascular training. It is one of the few types of devices that not only can do cardio, but also encourages at the same time some mobility-based training, which is very, very cool when it comes to posture, mobility, and also combining that with cardiovascular exercise. So I'm going to go through some of the details today, give you some product insights on what I think about the rower. So stay tuned and let's dive in. All right, so let's dive into this. First and foremost, it comes in a small box. It's not too heavy, in the neighborhood of about 50 to 60 pounds. Probably about 80% of it is actually pre-assembled, so it's pretty easy to manage yourself. Most of it is just putting screws in place and so forth. Somebody who is not very well knowledgeable and experienced with putting equipment together, it'll probably take you about 20 to 30 minutes to assemble this thing. So even as small as it is, there's a number of screws that you need to put together, but again, pretty easily manageable. So the unit itself is not too heavy. It's pretty easy to move around. It actually does have some wheels on the front so you can lift it up and move it. And I am, for reference, you can see that I look quite big compared to this unit. I'm about 6'3", so the unit does not take a lot of square footage. It's got a pretty small footprint. So I feel like it would be pretty manageable to put in the house, in the garage, easy to move around. So that is right off the bat a pretty big bonus. So there are some really cool features to this piece of equipment. Number one, it is quite a bit different from most of the machines that are out there. I've done 2 videos previously on rowing machines. One of them is the magnetic rower that's much smaller, and the other one is the comparison that Merach has with the Concept 2 rower. So it's more for aggressive cardiovascular style rowing. So you're used to seeing the small handle that goes right out in front with a fan-based resistance device. This is quite a bit different. This is more like a double oar rowing type of machine. And the cool part, as I'm going to show you here in a second, is that it has a lot of different ways that you can row. And this is going to be the absolute key feature of this device. So number one, you have the foot pedals that rotate a good amount. So it does lend to some options and variety for positions. But classically, and I've talked about this before, I don't like the uncomfortable straps that a lot of machines have. Merach has done a good job with this and making sure it's just simple and straightforward to grab and to tighten. And that Velcro is going to last a good amount of time. It's got a nice little handle here also you can stick your finger in to pull. So I really do appreciate that. Nice clean swivel to the pedals, so no problem there. So once I'm locked in here, I'll show you this here in a second. Okay, in the past I had issues, I think with one of the previous rower with the length, because a lot of times these home units are not very big. So what we want is to be able to have a wide variety of people that can use it. We're not just short. Again, I'm 6'3", so I do want to show you this because it is important. As when my legs are all the way back, I have plenty of room to lock my legs and lean back, and I'm not running out of space back here, okay? So this is important. I got a lot of range of motion that's available to me, okay? Now, the other piece is this double scull mechanism, this oar rowing, is actually, when we pick these guys up here, you could see that actually the way that this is designed, it's designed to move and give us a lot of flexibility and options on how we can row. This is absolutely one of the coolest features of this thing. One of the challenges that I've had in the past with general rowers is I've wanted to use them for postural training, doing high repetition volume training of the postural muscles. Now, ideally, it would be through the greatest degree of range of motion that we can get. So when we do a rowing exercise, we would start from a full stretch and we would be able to row not just where the bar runs into the body, but actually move past that. So we're able to expand the chest a little bit more and to get those shoulder blades all the way back. Now, the problem is with a regular rower is we're stopped at the stomach. So to some degree, it's limiting our range of motion, okay? That is not the issue with this, okay? So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna grab onto both of these handles here. We could see that it's kind of made like a traditional rower, right? Where we can actually go down, like rowing a boat, where we can pull the oars down into the seat here, right? Now, if I open my arms out a little bit more, you could see how far I can get my arms past behind my body because I can open the handles wider, okay? Now, ideally, because the way it's designed, I would love to have these a little bit taller here for me because then my arms will be able to get all the way back here. But again, can't fit everybody. So from this, as we row, I can keep my arms in relatively tight, but I have every few degrees extra of opening my arms available to me to go wide, okay? So I have a lot of variety here, and I can rotate up these positions. I can just do 1 rep and keep opening 1 rep at a time, and I can almost turn this into a rear delt fly. That's how wide these things will open up, okay? So the other option here, which is cool, is we can let one side down and just rack it, and we can do one side. So it's basically like a dumbbell 1-arm row, right? So this is going to be really important and helpful for improving rotation of the trunk. So a lot of us with thoracic kyphosis who are kind of slouched, we don't need to just do this upright activity, we need rotational mobility, okay? So imagine being able to do high volume, high repetitions of single arm rowing. So I can rotate forward, get a stretch, and I can pull and twist, okay? So this is more like a mobility drill here that I can do for really high repetitions, okay? And again, we have options here. We can pull close, or we can start to open that arm out to the side just like that. So very cool. If we do it with both arms, we also have the ability to alternate. So I can pull with one arm, and then I can pull with the other arm, and I can keep rotating and alternating from each side. Very cool. This leaves a lot of flexibility to change the style of rowing that we're doing. Of course, one of the #1 reasons is because it's fun, and it keeps it interesting, but also affords a lot of variation in your exercises with just the same unit, okay? So that is very, very cool, okay? So, and I've been showing you this, and you can hear getting a little bit winded just because I'm doing a lot of work here and talking, but I am only on the first level on the machine. The interesting thing on this also is with a lot of rowers like the Concept 2 one or the non or the fan-based Merach rower, it's the amount of resistance you get is how much you put into it, right? This one, it goes from level 1 to level 16. Level 16 offers up to 80 pounds of resistance, okay? So I'm gonna stick that on 16 all the way up, and you'll get a sense for how much resistance I'm getting with this. It's a little easy to start, but it gets pretty challenging as I start to get to the end of the range of motion. So it's a good amount of resistance here, even with a single arm, getting a pretty good amount of force. And that is definitely a bonus here for this magnetic rower. And I'm already kind of going to town on it too. And you can also tell magnetic rower, it's pretty silent. So there's no fan to deal with. Even when I put a lot of force into this thing, it's not very loud, which is really, really cool. I don't foresee myself using level 16 on this. So, but definitely, you know, level 4 is going to be pretty good. But even at level 1, right? But level 1 is pretty easy, but you'll feel your mid and upper back muscles working. So for those who are more technical or anatomically inclined, the thoracic extensors are going to be working. Those are the ones that upright your spine, okay? We have those rotary muscles, the multifidus, working when we twist in the spine. And we also have the muscles that retract the shoulder blade, right? Rhomboids, middle trapezius, lower trapezius. We've got the muscles on the back of the shoulder, the rear delts, the long head of the tricep. All of that stuff is working. We can train all of those muscles for high repetitions with a cardio-based trainer. Last piece I'll throw in there, just because there's so many options, what if I don't even want to move my legs? I can anchor my legs in here and I can just work the upper body, okay? Rear delt kind of fly activities and so forth, okay? So again, lots of options for such a small but very versatile piece of equipment, okay? So weight of the unit, like I said, I've talked about. The other thing that oftentimes comes up is what size person. Again, I'm 6'3", I weigh about 220 pounds, but this unit will take somebody up to about 330 pounds. So again, it's pretty sturdy, and again, with the design of it, you can get a lot of force through it, and it's quiet too. Okay, when it comes to the dashboard, we've got the usual options here. We've got our up and down toggles, we've got our mode, and we have reset, which will reset everything. But we have the total distance, the amount of time that it's rowing. Of course, we have the power outputtage, and so forth. The other cool thing is that, of course, this is Bluetooth capable. So by using the Merach app, you can load or connect it to your device so you can track all of your workouts and so forth. So on the Merach app, you've got a lot of options here to track all of your workouts. There are classes available, and again, just advanced rowing workouts and all sorts of cool things to do to track your workouts and help them be more fun and so forth, because ultimately the bottom line is the thing that you enjoy doing, you're going to find yourself doing more of it. And of course, with a lot of options, and as I showed you with how you can use the machine, and also having a lot of options with the online app, you've got a lot of flexibility here. All right, so that's it with regard to the features and so forth. And when it comes to cost, this piece of equipment is going to run you roughly in the neighborhood of about $300, which is a pretty good value for what you're getting. A lot of flexibility, variety, and training options, cardiovascular training, and so forth. For space economy, it being quiet, and so forth. So it's got the goods. I highly recommend the product, and I hope you take a look at it. I'll include a link down below in the description. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Would love to hear what you think. And of course, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.